Here I am on merchant words. Let's just find a very competitive category. I'm pretty sure yoga mats will be, but let's just check. The way we can check is by doing a little asterisk like that, hitting search. What that's going to do for us is it's going to return the highest volume products that are selling on Amazon.com. So that is the 14 million searches per month for an iPhone XX Max case. Look at that, incredible. All right, anyway, now let's go search for, we're going to change this a little bit, get a bit geeky. In between there, I'll give you this search thread. So you've got it. Hopefully you guys may have seen what I just did there. If not, I'm going to give you that. So we just basically hacked, don't tell George, send to all, hacked merchant words for him to get it to do exactly what we want it to do. And that's a pretty sexy thing you can do. So now I can see, by the way, I can download all that shit as a CSV as well. However, let's not get into any extra hackery stuff right now. Now I can see the highest searches per month on Amazon in Australia. So water bottles, for instance, 1.7 million searches per month. Lightning cables, Xbox Ones, wireless earbuds, essential oils, gaming chair, Lego, blah de blah de blah. Yoga mat, here we go. So let's go with this. Yoga mat gets 1.2 million searches per month on Amazon in Australia. 1.2 million searches per month on Amazon in Australia. So that's quite a lot of searches. Let's just see what comes up on amazon.com.au when we type that in. I just love merchant words. It's such a cool little thing because you get to do all this little crazy shit like that, little hackery stuff I've just shown you, and you get to look at it. All right, so 50,000 searches, 50,000 searches on Amazon, results on Amazon. So 50,000 yoga mats are currently available on amazon.com.au. Can we all agree? Can we all agree that that is a pretty competitive niche? Can we all agree that? Yes. All right, cool. So how the hell could we start selling yoga mats on Amazon? Well, to do that, we've got to think creatively about our customer. All right? We've got to think creatively about our customer. So let's be interactive. I'm deleting everything, so if you've asked me a question, I do apologize. I just want a little clear area so I can see your responses. Let's think about who the customer is on for Amazon. What is a potential customer for a yoga mat? Let's start at the very top with men versus women. So that is two different people who are going to buy yoga mats on Amazon, okay? So yoga mats for men, yoga mat for women. Let's just have a look at that. Yoga mat men. Men. So already we've reduced our competition from 50,000 down to 7,000, all right? So that's already a good little reduction. Let's just try women. Yoga mat for women, well, a few more of that. We've got from 50,000 to 10,000, all right? So you guys get the idea? Yoga mat, what else could we do? What's another variation of that? Yoga mats for kids. Nice one, Kevin. So let's just try that. Yoga mat kids. 10,000 results for yoga mats for kids. So again, we've gone from 50,000 results down to 10,000 results. But look at that yoga mat. Well, let's look at what we've got now. So that's got no reviews whatsoever. That's got one review. That's got no reviews. That's got no reviews. 0, 0, 0. So already we've found ourselves in a situation where we've reduced the number of competitors dramatically And now we've got the opportunity, simply by applying the launch strategies I teach you, to go into this market, because we can put many, many more reviews on and we can do a launch of it. All right, let's try something else. So that's one little niche we could go into, but let's keep going. Let's see what else we can do. Well, look, we've got yoga mats for kids. Well, let's just have a look. My youngest daughter, so she's a kid, is into unicorns. So let's have a look at that. Yoga mat unicorns. Da, 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 da. Here we go. So here's a unicorn yoga mat. That's actually very, very pretty. My daughter would love that if she was into yoga. But look at what else is here. Like mostly nothing. Well, let's just see what Merchant Words tells us about unicorn. Let's have a look how many people search for unicorn in Australia. 360,000 people search for unicorn. What about unicorn and yoga? Let's just try those two together. Nothing, but let's try that search in the USA and see if we can go into the USA market. Unicorn yoga, 63,000. Unicorn yoga mat, 11,000. Well, that's enough to get you interested to go into that. See how this works? All right, let's continue on our little merry paths. See if we can go down a little bit more and go a little bit further into it. What else can we do? So what else? Ooh, Oksana, a thick yoga mat. Very wise, very smart. See, when I yoga mat thick. So only 5,000 results now. So thick yoga mat. Well, that's pretty cool. Let's just have a look at that. Thick yoga mat. Let's see what survey says. Thick yoga mat, 293,000 in the USA. Let's have a look at Australia. 22,000. Well, that's certainly enough for me to get interested in that. And look at the competition again. Let's have a look at the competition again. So, extra thick. So that's your competition. Amazon's Choice. It's pretty basic. That's got 3 reviews. Again, nothing there that you couldn't beat. In fact, by the time we get here, it stopped being about thick yoga mats, and instead it's just about yoga mats, okay? Allergy-free yoga mats. Athena, very, very clever. Love your work. So, a yoga mat. Allergy. Well, we've got absolutely 0 results for that. Now, that either means nobody's searching for it or nobody's put it up yet. So let's just have a look. Let's go back over to Merchant Words and see what Merchant Words tells us. Nothing in Australia. Survey says, nothing in the US either. Have I spelt it incorrectly or something like that? Odorless. Well, that would be very, very useful for me. I stink when I'm doing yoga. Odorless. 900 people searching for an odorless yoga mat. Let's just have a quick look at what the competition's like. You get pretty sweaty when you're doing yoga. You get very sweaty. Oh, it's only 280 results. You get very sweaty. So Chrissy says, what about a non-slip yoga mat? Well, that's a pretty smart idea. Non-slip. Let's try, because remember that Americans, they tend to like that. Let's just try that first. Non-slip, 76,000 results. Well, that's pretty interesting. That would get me interested. What about here in Australia? What the heck? 14,000 results. Well, let's have a look what our competition's like for that particular search term. Let's get rid of that. Well, that's pretty sexy. Non-slip. Well, we've got 10,000, but let's have a look at competition. Let's have a look at our competition. Well, nobody is here talking about non-slip yoga mats, okay? So nobody, even the top one, has not optimized for the search term non-slip yoga mat, all right? That's an opportunity right there. Hypoallergenic, ribbed, natural yoga mat. What about natural? That's good. What about some... So think about what we're doing. We're just looking at different people who are interested in yoga and thinking about what they would want their yoga mat to be like, okay? So what about if we had a, what was it? Natural material. Natural material, 54 results, okay, so nothing really. And what about in terms of the volume? Nothing in Australia. In the US of A, natural material 700. Let's just try natural. See what comes up. Natural yoga mat 9,000. So I'm kind of getting more and more interested. Natural yoga mat 2,000. Natural rubber. Okay. Well, what about a cork yoga mat for people? Because cork's huge at the minute. Bloody everywhere. Cork yoga mat. What the heck? 23,000 results for that particular search term. Cork yoga mat. How many people are selling cork yoga mats? Bada boom, bada bing. Now you're talking. Now that's 369 people with 23,000 people searching for it. Well, that's major boner material right there. Okay, so that's different types of yoga mats. Now let's have a think about different bundles. So we've got a yoga mat, but what about with a yoga mat with? So let's just put the words yoga mat, yoga with cats. How weird. Yoga mat with. So yoga mat with bag is our top search term. So let's look at bundles. Your bundles now. 10,000 results. What else could we bundle with a yoga mat? What else could we bundle with a yoga mat? Towels we could bundle, very well done. Water bottles, well, we already know water bottles is a crazy amount of search volume. A book, says Mike. Yep. A block, says Joe. DVDs. You get the idea? I mean, there's no shortage of things you could bundle up. There really, really isn't. What about this? Yoga. Here's something new. What you may not have seen before, yoga gloves. So yoga gloves is actually a very, very new thing. Let's go and see how many people are searching for that shit. I've got to stop swearing. I'm just terrible. Yoga gloves in Australia, 23,000 people. So what about if we sold yoga gloves but bundled it with a yoga mat? So we took it the other way round now. We said, we're not going to sell yoga mats, we're going to sell yoga gloves, and we're going to sell a yoga glove with a bundle of a mat. Does that make sense? Rather than selling a yoga mat with some gloves, we sell some yoga gloves with a mat. That's another way to get into a very competitive niche. You kind of switch it up a bit. Same for yoga blocks, says Tessa. Same for yoga knee pads, says Wendy. Same for a spiky ball, says Mark. Yoga bands, says Pommy Sean. Absolutely. Those yoga bands, I use those for Iyengar yoga. Let's think about that for a second. All right. Then let's go and look at something else. So now we look at Iyengar. I don't even know if that's the right way to spell that. Iyengar. Oh, it is the right way. Okay, cool. So Iyengar yoga. What if I'm doing Iyengar yoga and I want to buy an Iyengar yoga mat? There you go. I did actually misspell it. I'm a numpty. Fortunately for me, the ability to spell does not equal the ability to sell shit online. So we're kind of lucky there. Iyengar yoga mat, no results in Australia, but surely lots of people do Iyengar yoga in Australia, or lots of people do Hatha yoga in Australia. And if I did Hatha yoga, then wouldn't I want to buy a Hatha yoga mat? Doesn't that make sense? Here in Australia, loads of folks do Hatha yoga. Surely if I was doing Hatha yoga, I would want to buy a Hatha yoga specialized mat. Does that make sense? So, what can we learn from this? Well, we can learn two things. First thing you can learn is, and please don't be shitty with me, because I am acutely aware that one of the first things I say to you in the AOE training course is don't sell yoga mats, all right? And the reason I say that is because I don't have the opportunity, and you probably aren't ready to hear when you first start selling on Amazon. You aren't ready for all the nuances that can go along with selling in a competitive market. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you don't feel bad about me kind of now saying, hey, here's how to sell yoga mats, all right? So we can learn that by targeting people and niching down into different marketplaces, you can sell pretty much anything. There's a market for pretty much anything. We've also learned as well that by laser targeting who we're going to sell to, we become the only game in town, And we've also learned as well that there's a lot of different ways to niche down your product. I mean, we did yoga mats, but we could have done freaking water bottles and applied the same thing to water bottles. And we already know those water bottles were like 1.5 million searches a month, something crazy like that. We could have done exactly the same thing with water bottles, and it would have been exactly the same. So, how do you sell in a crazily competitive marketplace? You don't. You don't sell in a crazily competitive marketplace. Instead, what you do is you take the crazily competitive marketplace and you look within it for niches that you can dominate. Things like extra thick yoga mat, unicorn yoga mat for kids, whatever it might be. You look for niches that you can dominate within those bigger, broader, hyper-competitive niches, and that's how you sell in a crazy competitive niche on Amazon. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales have used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on, a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.